The Apocryphal book of Joseph and Asenath. The prayer of Asenath, chapters 23 and 24. And it came to pass, as Joseph and Asenath were passing by, Pharaoh's firstborn son saw them from the wall, and when he saw Asenath, he became mad at her because of her surpassing beauty. Then Pharaoh's son sent messengers and called Simeon, Shimeon, and Levi to him. And when they came and stood before him, Pharaoh's firstborn said to them, I for my part know that you are today mighty men above all men upon the earth. And with these right hands of yours the city of Shechem was overthrown, and with your 2 swords 30,000 warriors were cut down. And I today will take you to myself as companions, and give you much gold and silver, and serving men and handmaids and houses and great inheritances, and contend on my side and do me kindness. For I received great spite from your brother Joseph, since he took Asenath to be his woman, and this woman was betrothed to me from of old. And now come with me, and I will fight against Joseph to slay him with my sword. I will take Asenath to be my woman, and you shall be to me as brethren and faithful friends. But if you shall not listen to my words, I will slay you with my sword. And when he had thus said these things, he drew out this sword and showed it to them. And Shimeon was a bold and daring man, and he thought to lay his right hand upon the hilt of his sword, and draw it from the sheath thereof, and smite Pharaoh's son, for that he had spoken hard words to them. And Levi, he then saw the thought of his heart, because he was a prophet, and trod with his foot on Shimeon's right foot, and pressed it, causing him to cease from his wrath. And Levi said quietly to Shimeon, Why are you angry against this man? We are men who worship Elohim, and it is not meet for us to render evil for evil. Then Levi said to Pharaoh's son openly with mildness of heart, Why do you speak these words? We are men who worship Elohim, and our father is a friend of El Elyon, and our brother is as a son of Elohim. And how shall we do this wicked thing, to sin in the sight of our Elohim, and of our father Yasharel, and in the sight of our brother Yosef? Now hear my words. It is not meet for a man who worships Elohim to injure any man in any way, and if any wishes to injure a man who worships Elohim, that man who worships Elohim does not avenge himself upon him, for that there is no sword in his hands. And you beware of speaking any more of these words about our brother Yosef. But if you continue in your evil counsel, lo, our swords are drawn against you. Then Shimeon and Levi drew their swords from their sheaths and said, Do you now see these swords? With these 2 swords Yahweh punished the despot of the Shekaim, wherewith they did despite to the sons of Yasharal through our sister Dinah, whom Shechem, the son of Kamor, defiled. And Pharaoh's son, when he saw the swords drawn, feared exceedingly, and trembled all over his body, for that they glittered like a flame of fire, and his eyes became dim, and he fell upon his face to the earth beneath their feet. And Levi stretched out his right hand and took hold of him, saying, "Stand up, and do not fear, only beware of speaking any more evil word concerning our brother Yosef." And so Shimeon and Levi went out from before his face. Pharaoh's son then continued to be full of fear and grief, for that he feared Yosef's brethren. And again he was exceedingly mad by reason of Asenath's beauty, and grieved greatly. Then his serving men said in his ear, "Lo, the sons of Bilhah, the sons of Zilpah, the handmaids of Leah and Rachel, Yaakov's women, are at a great enmity against Yosef and Asenath, and hate them. These will be to you in all things according to your will." Straightway, therefore, Pharaoh's son sent messengers and called them. And they came to him at the first hour of the night, and they stood in his presence, and he said to them, "I see that you are mighty men." And Dan and Gad, the elder brethren, said to him, "Let my master now speak to his serving men what he wishes, that your serving men may hear, and we may do according to your will." Then Pharaoh's son rejoiced with exceeding great joy, and said to his serving men, "Withdraw now for a short space from me, for I have secret speech with these to hold with these men." And they all withdrew. Then Pharaoh's son lied and said to them, "Lo, now blessing and death are before your faces. Take therefore blessing rather than death, because you are mighty men, and will not die as women. But be brave, and avenge yourselves upon your enemies. I have heard Yosef your brother saying to Pharaoh my father, 'Dan and Gad and Naphtali and Asher are not my brethren, but children of my father's handmaids. I wait therefore for my father's death, and will blot them out from this earth and all their issue, lest they should inherit with us, because they are children of handmaids. For these also sold me to the Yishmaelim, and I will render to them again according to their spite which they wickedly committed against me. Only my father shall die.' And my father Pharaoh commended him for these things, and said to him, 'You have spoken well, child. Accordingly, take from me mighty men, and proceed against them according to what they wrought against you, and I will be a helper to you.' And when Dan and Gad heard these words from Pharaoh's son, they were greatly troubled, and grieved exceedingly. And they said to him, 'We pray you to help us, for henceforth we are your slaves and bondmen. We will die with you.' And Pharaoh's son said, 'I will be a helper to you, if you will also listen to my words.'